I went looking for the study behind the most repeated advice in self-improvement. It is smaller than you would think. For years, the line has been the same. Do not tell anyone your goals. Talking about it drains the drive to do it. I believed that. It explains something real. People do keep quiet about the things they are trying to fix, and they are not wrong to. Then I sat down with the paper. 4 experiments. 168 German students. And the audience in those studies was not a friend, or a family group chat, or a comment section. It was a researcher glancing at a form. That gap is the whole video. If the explanation is that thin, the behavior still needs explaining, and there is a better answer underneath it. Here is the version everyone knows. You announce the goal. People react well. Your brain treats the reaction as progress, and the wanting quiets down. Call that the inside explanation. The entire event happens in one skull. Now here is the one that almost never gets said out loud, even though it is what people describe when you ask. You announce the goal, and the room changes. Someone competes with you. Someone tells you it will not work. Someone quietly starts handing you things to do. Call that the outside explanation. And if you have ever kept something to yourself, this is probably closer to the reason you would give. Not that you were guarding your own momentum, that the last time you said a thing out loud, somebody took it apart, or started racing you. Same behavior, 2 different causes. And the inside one is much easier to like, because it puts the failure somewhere you control. Nobody else has to be at fault. You just spent it early. The outside one is harder, because it means other people are part of the mechanism, and you cannot fix other people. So I want to walk the evidence for both, in the order it arrived. The lab first, in 2009. Then the proper test of it, last year. Then the thing neither was measuring, from a survey in 2023. The order is most of the story 2009, Gollwitzer, Sheeran, and 2 colleagues in the journal Psychological Science. 4 small experiments. Study 2 is the easiest one to picture. 30 law students working through practice cases. Half of them filled in a questionnaire about their career goal, and the experimenter looked at it. For the other half, it went straight into a folder. The looked-at group stopped after about 41.5 minutes. The ignored group worked for closer to 46. 4 minutes. Inside a 45-minute session, that is the load-bearing result under 15 years of do not tell anyone advice. 2 honest things about it. Inside those 30 students, the effect was genuinely large. This is not a flimsy finding on its own terms. But the full set totals about 168 people. One of the headline numbers rests on roughly 13 of them, and I could not locate a direct replication. Not disproved, just never load tested. Which is a strange foundation for something this many people repeat as settled. So somebody load tested it. Last year. Peetz, Bueller, and Wells. 4 studies, 1,035 North American adults. People named a goal, and a week later reported what they had done about it. In some studies, people were assigned to tell someone, not choosing, assigned. If the leak story were right, the assigned tellers should have come out behind. They came out ahead. Across all 4 studies, people who shared a goal reported putting more effort into it than people who kept it to themselves. Being instructed to tell someone made them work harder than being instructed to keep it private. Telling people did not drain anything. If anything, it paid a little. And a detail I have not stopped thinking about. Among the people told to keep the goal private, about half told someone anyway. So the leak story is in trouble. And then the researchers asked why sharing helped. It was not motivation. It was support. The people who talked about the goal got things back. Reminders. Encouragement. Someone taking a chore off them. The more of that arrived, the harder they worked. Then, in a separate study, they changed one thing. Students shared a goal with whoever they happened to be walking with. The audience was assigned 2. Those students still worked harder, but the support did not come. Same disclosure, different room. Only one of those rooms sends anything back. So telling people is not the thing that costs you. Who you tell is what decides whether anything comes back. Which leaves a question the inside explanation never had to answer. If talking does not cost you the drive, why does telling people still feel expensive? Because for a lot of people, it is. Just not in their own head. In 2023, a survey called The Tallest Poppy collected answers from 4,710 people across 103 countries. Read the caveat with me before the numbers. It is a self-selected sample of women, gathered by an advocacy organization. It shows you a direction, not a population. The direction is stark. About 87% said they had been penalized or ostracized at work for doing well. 77% had achievements played down. And the one I keep circling back to, 60% said they expected a penalty simply for being seen as ambitious. That last number describes something that has not happened yet. It is a forecast. People budgeting for a cost before they have said a single word. There is harder evidence underneath it. Kim and Glom, 2014, in the Journal of Applied Psychology. Their first study, nearly 5,000 employees, found one thing. High performers were more likely to be targeted by the people around them. A second, much smaller study, 217 people, traced where that came from. It ran through envy. So the quiet is not drive management, it is risk management that got filed under willpower. One word, if you have lived this. When you kept something to yourself, was it your own motivation you were protecting, or the room? Type motivation, or room. I am curious which way it splits. There is a scene that makes this concrete. The writer Jill Stark spent a year without alcohol and wrote a book about it. At a dinner, a former flatmate announces to the entire table that Stark is not drinking. The table immediately asks if she is pregnant. Then the flatmate adds that she is writing a book about it. The guest across from her has his verdict ready. It will be a very short book. Nothing leaked. She had not even chosen to tell them. The room assigned her an identity before she had finished building one, and then rated it. That is what the inside explanation cannot hold. You can be flawless about your own motivation and still have the disclosure happen without you in the sentence. Which changes the useful question. Not how long do I stay hidden? Not 6 months, or a year, or whatever number is circulating this month. The number was never the variable. What tends to matter, in the research that held up, is who has access, and whether you chose them or inherited them. People who move out of this pattern usually start there. Not with a vow of silence, with a much shorter list. And a list is a workable object. You can name who is on it, you can notice that somebody has been on it for 11 years on the strength of a friendship that ended in 2019. That is a smaller, steadier question than how long can I hold my breath? So here is where I land. The advice was right about the behavior and wrong about the reason. And the wrong reason was the flattering one, because it let the whole thing be about your own discipline. The version where nobody else has to be responsible for anything. The truer version is less lonely than it sounds. People rebuilding quietly are usually not hiding from their own motivation. They are managing an audience, and they learn to the hard way. Privacy is not a wall you go behind. It is a guest list, and most of the work is deciding who is on it. If you want more of this, the checking rather than the certainty, subscribe.